All right, so we're looking at the back of our paper. We are going to figure out from this graph all the information, all the questions it asks us, and maybe we'll even put it in an equation and see if it looks the same in our calculators. Okay. So the first thing, which I think is pretty easy to see, is the vertex. Where would the vertex be? So, where is the vertex at this equation? What would the points be? What? What's the x value? What's the y value?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell when you get
Well, what's the y value? You should be able to tell that one.
3.
10? It goes up by, so this is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. It says right here by the side, this is 0, 5, 10. Negative 5, negative 10. It's light, but it's there. Okay? So I know right here, I'm at 4, 10 for my vertex. So that means my h has to be 4, my k has to be 10.
Why is it 4?
Because it's over 4. You see the darker lines are like the 5. It's 1 over from that darker line. I know it's hard to see. That's why we're doing it together.
Oh, why is this like you said, 51
Okay. I told you what it said. So write this down. I don't need everybody to tell me what they see. I got it. Okay, what is the line of symmetry? If the vertex is 410, the line of symmetry is x equals. You gotta have that x equal, or it's not gonna be right. All right, what direction is the u going? Down. All right, we can do the width. The width is, if we look at the x-axis, the difference between them. So we gotta count, and it's really hard on yours. So I'm gonna count on mine. 1, 2, 3, approximately 4. The width is approximately 4. What about the slope pattern? Does it go up first? Does it go down first?
Up first, then down.
Up, then down. What is the one thing I don't have up there? A. So A is a little bit tricky, but I'm going to show you a cool thing, and you'll have to do this on your homework. So I really need you to pay attention.
Hold on.
Okay. Okay. So we have to figure out from the graph the A value. We're going to do this by finding the second difference, and I'm going to explain what that is. The first thing is you always write down the vertex.
What's the A value?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the vertex, 410, okay? And then you want at least two more consecutive numbers so that we can look at the differences, okay? So when it is 5, okay, which is kind of hard to see, but when it's 5, I think it's around 8. And I've got a better graph up here, and so I'm pretty sure. When it's 4, oh, not 4, I've got 4. I went 6. When it's 6, it's about 2. Okay, and you guys will be graphing a lot of these yourself, so you'll be able to see them. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about when I talk about differences. The first difference is, what do I do to 10 to get 8? Minus 2. 8 to 2, I subtract
6.
Okay. What is the difference between 2 and 6?
4. No.
4. Okay. Your A value is half of the second difference.
2.
So it would be 2.
Wait, is it always going to be the same as the...
No. I don't believe so. All right. So let's put this in an equation and see if we get the same looking graph. Now, I have a question. Is this is up or down?
Down.
So what would have to be in front of my A?
Negative.
So we'd have to have a negative 2. Okay, how would my equation look? It would look like y equals what?
Y equals 2, negative 2.
Okay. Parentheses.
X minus 4.
Good.
Parentheses 2.
enter that in our calculator and see what happens. We're just looking to see if we have around the same table, the same graph. What do we got? Anybody having trouble with your calculators? You guys need to know how to use them because you're going to have to use them for...
Looks the same to me.
Yes.
What's mine doing? Man, mine's making it dotted and it's curving and it's stupid.
Yeah.
So remember, Control T will give you a table, and you can see if the table is the same. Okay, so when I've done it, I get the same thing. It looks very close. This graphing calculator is really nice because you can check. All right. It's going to disappear, fortunately. All right, we're going to look at number 6 now. All right. So looking at this, remember, right here is my x-axis. Right here is my y. Everybody with me? We're on number 6?
Yeah.
Okay. We know that the vertex is what? Can you guys at least see the y value?
It's 3.
The x value would be what kind of 3?
-3.
Okay, so the -3.
And a,
So we know the x value is -3. And how far did it go down? What is this?
that, I can't see it.
So if you look at the side, it should say -5.
Oh.
Right? So h is -3, k is -5. Okay, what's the axis of symmetry? X equals
-3.
k. Which direction is it, up or down? Let's talk about that slope pattern. It starts off going which way? And then?
That's weird.
Okay, let's figure out the width. If we were to count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
How are you
6,
counting the width?
7. I've got a better graph than you. It's the distance between here and here. Yeah, between where it crosses the x-axis. So it's about 7. All right, so again, we've got that hard part. What do we got to figure out? The A.
What do you mean where it crosses the x-axis? As in y?
The x-axis.
I thought, isn't it where like 2 points are?
So it goes like this. Crosses the x-axis in 2 places. And the width is the distance between them.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Then you wouldn't have a width. That's a good question.
It's skinnier.
All right. So we've got x and y, and we're going to start with our vertex. I'm going to look at -2 and -1. All right. -2 is approximately 4.5.
How do you find that out?
You're looking on your graph. So if you had a better graph,
I go to -2.
you would go over, you would go over -2, and you would see where it crosses. And for here, it crosses at approximately negative 4.5.
I can't see where it crosses. It crosses what?
I know you can't see, it's a bad graph. So when you look, I would go over to negative 2 and then see where it touches there. Does that make sense? All right, and then at negative 1, we're at approximately negative 3. So I know it's really hard to see, but if you go over 1, I know I go down 3, and I'm on the graph. Okay. Now, here's the hard part. I want to find the first difference and then the second difference. So what is the difference between here and here? Okay. First hour had some hard times with that. What is the difference between those two? 1.5. What's the difference between 0.5 and 1.5? 1. Is it opening up or down? So it'd be up. All right, let's do one more before we move on. Let's do number 8. Okay. So the first thing we're going to look at is see if we can sort of see what the vertex is. So when I'm looking at a slightly better graph, it's negative 2, 9. We know it's right here, right? Negative 2, 9. So what is my H? Why doesn't somebody raise their hands? Tell me what H is. Thomas. Good. What is K? Cleanna? Please raise your hand if you can tell me the axis of symmetry. Please raise your hand and wait to be called on. Yes. X equals negative 2. All right. What direction is it going? Let's all say together. What direction? Down.
Oh.
But that's not correct. Okay. And it starts, the slope pattern, it goes up, and then it goes up, then down. Okay, so the width for you guys is hard to read, but I think I can read it on mine. It is a half, 1.5, 2.5, I think it's about 3. All right, and then we know the fun part. We make our table. We've got negative, we've got negative 2 and 9. This is our vertex right here. I'm going to show you something with this one. I'm going to choose 2 more points. I'm going to choose negative 3 and negative 4. All right, when I look at negative 3, so I go over 1, 2, 3, go up to 5. When I go to negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm at negative 5. All right, what do you think I would have if I have put negative 1 and 0?
0 and 8.
What would negative 1 be? 5. What would 0 be?
Nothing.
Negative 5.
Oh,
See, negative 5. It's symmetrical. So if we're looking at the vertex, remember on either side they're the same. Okay? So let's look at the first and second differences. So the first difference, what's the difference between negative 5 and 5?
5. Negative 5.
If I'm at negative 5, and I'm going up to 5, how am I going? 10.
That's
Between 5 and 9 is?
4.
Between 9 and 5 is?
4.
Between 5 and negative 5 is?
10.
Okay, between 10 and 4.
6.
So, what's half of 6?